Week 9, The Power of Habits in Living Your Ikigai. Welcome back to Giatti and welcome to Week 9 of our Ikigai journey. I'm Barb Giatti, and I'm glad you're here. Every week we come together to grow and glow, learning to live more fully, more consciously, as we glow from the inside out. This is Week 9 of 12 of the Giatti Ikigai podcast series. If you're following along in my 12-week Ikigai book, that's great. If you don't have the book, that's absolutely fine, but you will want something to write with and to write on. So we've got a whole bunch of changes going on around here. As I've mentioned before, I've taken down my Life Coach store website and switched everything over to Patreon. If you'd like to find the books or merch or extras, just go to patreon.com/GiattiGlowPodcast. Plus, you'll see the little daily motivations that I post every day. You can be a free member or donate to this podcast there. By now, you've explored your purpose from many angles. You've reflected deeply. You've set intentions. You faced obstacles and learned how to meet them with resilience. This week, we turn our attention to something quieter but incredibly powerful: your habits. Living your Ikigai isn't only about insight or motivation. It's about what you do repeatedly. The small, often ordinary actions you take each day shape your life over time. Habits are how purpose becomes practical. They are how alignment moves from something you think about into something you live. When your daily routines reflect your Ikigai, purpose stops feeling like extra effort. It becomes part of the rhythm of your life. Research suggests that a large portion of our daily actions happen on autopilot. Habits guide how we begin our mornings, how we work, how we rest, and how we care for ourselves. This means that your habits are already shaping your life, whether you've chosen them intentionally or not. The good news is that habits can be redesigned. When you cultivate habits that align with your Ikigai, you create a foundation that supports focus, energy, and consistency. Purpose no longer depends on willpower alone. It's reinforced by structure. Over time, small intentional habits compound into meaningful change. Habits help you stay focused by reducing decision fatigue and distractions. They build momentum by proving that consistency matters more than intensity, and they support your well-being by creating stability, balance, and care in your daily life. Before creating new habits, it's important to pause and notice the ones you already have. So take a moment to reflect on your current routines. Some of them may already support your Ikigai. Others may sort of drain your energy and pull your attention away from what matters most. And this isn't about judgment, it's about awareness. Ask yourself which habits feel aligned with your purpose. Notice which ones leave you feeling depleted or scattered. Then consider what new habits might support the life you want to live. One helpful way to do this is through a simple habit audit. Imagine listing all the actions you repeat on most days, from how you start your morning to how you wind down at night. And as you review them, notice which habits strengthen your connection to your passions, strengths, and goals, and notice which habits distract you or consume energy without giving much back. This awareness gives you choice. Understanding how habits form can make change feel far less intimidating. Habits are not created through motivation alone. They are shaped through patterns. One widely used framework describes habits as a loop made up of 3 parts: a cue, a routine, and a reward. The cue triggers the behavior. The routine is the action you take, and the reward is what reinforces the habit and encourages repetition. When you intentionally design each part of this loop, habits become easier to adopt and easier to sustain. Clear cues reduce friction. Simple routines make habits feel doable. Meaningful rewards help your brain associate the habit with something positive. This approach shifts habit building from self-discipline to self-design. Let me share a story. Noah is 36 and works as a graphic designer. He loved art, but his creative energy was constantly overshadowed by the demands of his day job. He felt disconnected from the part of himself that made him feel most alive. During his Ikigai journey, Noah decided to focus on habits rather than on big decisions. He committed to sketching for just 15 minutes each morning before work. In the evenings, he reflected briefly on his creative progress. On weekends, he set aside a couple hours to experiment with new techniques. These habits were small, but they were intentional. And over time, Noah felt more energized, more confident, and more connected to his purpose. His creative practice became part of his life again, not something he postponed. Eventually, those habits supported a gradual transition toward a more art-focused career. And that's the power of habit. When designing habits that support your Ikigai, it helps to start with purpose. Ask yourself, what part of your Ikigai do you want to nurture? Then, choose specific, manageable actions that support it. Identify a cue that fits naturally into your day and decide how you'll acknowledge or reward yourself afterward. The habit doesn't need to be impressive. It needs to be repeatable. Consistency matters more than perfection. Some days will be smooth, others won't. The goal isn't rigidity, it's flexibility with commitment. When life shifts, habits can adapt. What matters is returning to alignment again and again. Tracking habits can help reinforce consistency. Seeing progress builds motivation. Revisiting your why keeps habits meaningful rather than mechanical. And sharing your goals with someone supportive can add encouragement and accountability. It's also important to remember that habits should support your life, not control it. If a routine becomes stressful or unrealistic, it's allowed to evolve. Purpose grows best in systems that are kind. So let's pause for a reflective moment here. Imagine your ideal day. Notice how you begin your morning. Pay attention to how you move through work or creative time. Observe how you rest and unwind in the evening. What habits are present in this day? Rich routines help you feel focused, grounded, and aligned. This imagined day isn't a fantasy, it's a guide. Let me share one more story. Mia is 43 and works as a wellness coach. Her Ikigai centers on helping others create balance and well-being, but she realized that her own habits needed to reflect the same intention. She designed a daily routine that supported clarity and care. Her mornings included yoga and meditation. Midday walks helped her recharge and reflect, and evenings ended with gratitude journaling. These habits didn't just support her personally, they made her more present, effective, and authentic in her work with others. Her habits became an extension of her purpose. As we close today's episode, here's what I want you to remember. Your Ikigai is not sustained by motivation alone. It is sustained by what you practice daily. Small habits, repeated with intention, create a life that feels aligned and meaningful. You don't need to change everything all at once. You only need to begin where you are. Each habit you build is a vote for the life you want to live. So next week, we'll explore how to sustain this alignment over time and to continue growing with your Ikigai as your life evolves. For now, just choose one habit that supports your purpose. Start small and let consistency do the rest. I'll see you next week. Thank you for listening to this Giatti Glow podcast. If you'd like more information about our books, you'd like to get some merchandise, you can check out more about us and see our daily motivations, go to patreon.com/Giatti Glow podcast. That's patreon.com/Giatti Glow podcast. And be sure to like, subscribe, and share us. Thanks.